Hi, I hope you had a good week. Today we're going to be learning Yecheskel. What we're going to be learning is Perek Lamed Chet, which is a continuation of what we learned last week. Last week we learned about the revival of the dead, the dry bones. So this week we're going to talk more about events that have to take place before Mashiach. This year is dedicated to Racheleah Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi, and with that we'll go on. So I have to give you some introduction to this very interesting and complex Perek. We're going to be learning about the war of Gog and Magog. So there are three basic ideas here. The first is Gog's plan. Now who Gog and Magog are, we'll talk about in a moment, to destroy us. And the second thing is that there's a book concerning the ultimate annihilation of Gog as a consequence of his attempt to destroy us. And the third is the aftermath of this destruction, the destruction of Gog and all those who accompanied him, by the tahara, the purity that has to be recreated on a land that's full of blood as a result of these battles. Now, again, I'm going to take you back to the Rambam that we spoke about last Perek. We said that Rambam, although he talks extensively about these events, he doesn't avoid them or shroud them in hints. He talks about them openly, both in Hilchos Tshuva and in the end of Hilchos Melachim. He nonetheless and this is in the Yad, which means he feels that this is something we should know in order to live our lives. The Yad in the end isn't a philosophy book. But he still says that studying this in detail is not advised, because these events will emerge in accordance to what the time necessitates. And we don't know, we have no tradition of how things will actually be. We have possibility A, if this is how things are. Possibility B, if that's how things are. And delving into it and trying to figure it out in detail, it doesn't lead to love of Hashem, it doesn't lead to awe of Hashem. So he recommends against it. But we need to know the general picture. And the reason why we need to know the general picture is because the more we know about what the last act will be, the more we understand our own role as actors on this stage. So because of this, we're given a great deal of information here, but you can't get a very exact delineation of the order in which these events will happen. So here are the things that we know with absolute certainty. There's going to be a very difficult time before Mashiach comes. The difficulty of this time is compared to the difficulty a woman experiences in labor right before birth. This difficult time revolves around two characters that we're going to soon read about inside, Gog and Magog. Who are these people? So I would recommend again that you hear lots of possibilities and not try to pin things down with great exactitude. I would recommend a very good book on this, though. It's called Chevle Mashiach Bizmanenu by Raphael Eisenberg. It was written between the two great wars of 1967 and 1973. The Rav who wrote it collected all of the major ideas from the Gemara and all of the Makarot in rabbinic literature. And it has very chashuv approbations from the Gedolei Yisrael of the time. But nonetheless, I'm not going to take it as far as he did, and I'm going to give you just a general picture of it. So the Midrash tells us that the words Gog and Magog equal in Gematria 70. So this is a hint to us that the wars of Gog and Magog are wars that will involve all of the nations. At the end of Parashat Noach, we have a listing of 70 aboriginal nations who are the source of all future nations. Now, in terms of why they're called Gog and Magog, which means the roof and the roofer, it has to do with the superpowers of the time view themselves as being the ones who define reality, the way a roof is what makes an edifice into a building. In the laws of Shabbos, for something to be considered a building, it has to have a roof. That's why you can't use an umbrella, and you can't open an umbrella. It's like making a portable roof. So they're going to wage war against anybody who says there's another way other than reliance on them, either overtly or, as we'll learn, even covertly, even by our existence. Okay, so there are going to be 3 separate wars. The two of them are discussed right here in the Perek. The third one is in Zechariah.